Why hello there, my fellow zealots. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to Ostranauts. Episode 50, Meeting the King. So I think I have 3 horns and an eye, if my count is correct. So I would need, or three hoofs and an eye. So I would need 1 more hoof and 2 horns. I like how I keep longing for better food as I look at this stuff. It's like, dude, that ain't food. And she has a clear path to get back in now. So I'm going to have her rest inside. Catch her breath. And stack the meat high. Alright, there's another hoof here. In order to get that, I need to bash this. No, don't bash the meat. Pick it up. Where are you going? And there seems to be a horn right there if I can work my way towards that. The game keeps, like, auto-swapping active character. Sometimes it just does that. It's like a bug. So this is the final horn. Or final hoof. Oh, God, just spread right in front of me. And if I can pick it up, and then there's a horn there if I can get it. And so far, it looks like the meat hasn't spread back into my ship, which is good. But hey, we want an exercise, right? I am getting exercise. And I'm going to have her... Actually, I do restorations way faster than she does. So I'm going to start restoring her suit. Because it nearly broke. The meat really took a big old chunk out. You hurt? I don't think she's hurt. I think she's just winded, and my character thinks there's something wrong with her because she's winded. I don't think she's actually suffered any damage. The suit would have ruptured if that was the case. Alright. I think we've recovered. So what I want her to do is to grab the spare suit so that we don't lose headway in fighting back the meat. And the spare suit, she'll just swap the... Oh, she had an aux bottle on her. She'll swap the tools that were stored in here in the battery into the new one. There. So now she has a fresh suit so that I don't lose progress. Because, yeah, as you can see, the meat grows back quick. So if you're not... There are better weapons, right? There's like the game has a katana. Katanas would be the best weapon to use against this stuff. But, ooh, good. We found a horn. And the other hoof got, like, reabsorbed. But hey, I got a horn. That's big. They talk about combat training? No, right? I've got armed melee combat 10%. Which isn't bad, considering I haven't been slaughtering tons of pirates by hand. So that's a decent amount of progress. So while I recover, I will repair the other suit. Have I tested fire extinguisher against the meat? It's not very effective. Katanas are super effective, and then, like, machetes, crowbars, and cutlasses are, like, somewhat effective. If you have a strong person with katana, you can cut through meat very fast. To the point where, like, maybe it's worth farming it. But obviously that's not the condition I'm in. Okay, suits repaired. So we're looking for one hoof, one horn. I know there's some here, so you know what I might do? I might cut through the ship to get access to it. While Megan makes sure it doesn't overtake our airlock. Because if I cut through here, uninstall a wall, uninstall the seat, I can gain access to the horn and hoof that's back there. Maybe faster than trying to cut through the meat. Although this meat's trying to catch me. It's a bit of cat and mouse. Very screwed up game of cat and mouse. Oh, there's another horn. Where'd it go? Damn it. It, like, disappeared. So I'm trying to get these two, because I see a horn and a hoof there. And that's what I'm ultimately seeking from this event. Guns work? No, not very effective either. Trenchers. Hoof. Nice. Let's back up. You don't want to, like, rest or stand anywhere adjacent to meat. Because it will overrun you. And to that end, I'm losing my exit here, so I'm going to uninstall this wall. I'm installing some walls so I can move around a little bit more. So I'm only missing one horn. There is a horn here. I just don't know if I can get to it. Because this meat is really overrunning me. And I have, actually, is that? No, that's a hoof, I think. Because if it's attached to, if the meat is spread to our ship, I might be able to get the horn by killing what's attached to our ship, because we're gonna have to kill it anyway. Let's see. So far, so good. Even more stacks of fresh meat. Right, I'm a little winded. She should be pretty fresh now. So what I'm trying to do here is just fight this back so that I have a little bit more wiggle room. I do see a horn there, though. But, like, trying to get there is the challenge. Because there's just so much biomass between me and there. I'm going to try to hold my ground and fight for the win. If I can. So it's... might be manageable. My suit... yeah, my suit looks damaged. So I'm going to back up. And... restore it. Getting pretty close to that last horn. Her suit's still fresh. Ooh, boy. Time for a barbecue? I don't disagree. And yeah, there's some that is attached to our ship, but it's not so bad that we won't be able to clear it once we're done. I don't need that. Alright. Good enough. No, don't talk to it. Kill it. Where'd the hoof go? Oh, there it is. There's the horn. Pick up. Everybody back on the ship. And... undock. Alright, we're not quite done, because we do have a tag-along. Nice. I love how fast I'm moving. Being super exerted. I'm checking the other side, but I think we're clear. Yep, we're clear. Nice. Good headway. Good headway. Alright, before I forget, suit needs more restoration. Because it tried to eat me. My helmet's fine. And then Megan's old suit also needs some restoring too. But I think her new suit is fine. Yep. The suit she had on has no issues. Okay. So, fixing everything up after the giant battle with the entity. I'm just going to call it the entity. My suit's good. Her suit is good. And now I'm saving. They did restrict it so that it used to be that your ship could be like, the meat could spread through walls and overtake your ship very fast, and they updated it to only spread through airlocks. But if I have meat on the outside of my ship and I park my ship at like K-leg, it will start to spread into K-leg. So that's the threat. So now that I've done that, here is the next step. I am gonna put some of these bullets away. Pick up all the weird meat. And I am going to inspect the eye and the assembly. It's a strange altar-like assembly consisting of a giant goat eye, 2 giant curved horns, and 4 oversized goat-like legs. I think I need to inspect a horn too. And now I can install. Don't think too hard about this part. Love this game. It's so crazy. Alright, before I do anything with this goat altar, how much blood? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm heading over to the sink. And opening up space so that I can clean up the blood. Am I close enough to... No, I can't jettison it. Okay, hold on. You know, might have made a weird goat effigy altar thingy, but at least I keep a clean ship, right? Alright, spoilers ahead. So, if you don't want to know about the meat quest, I'm about to do it. Commence ritual. I approach the grisly assembly with intent. As you stare down at the strange assemblage of harvested organs, the world around you begins to quiver and bend. A dark shadow beneath the idol grows and spreads, like ink dropped in a pool of still water, until everything around you but your body and makeshift totem is black. The shadow recedes, and you find yourself standing in the cramped central deck of a ship whose design escapes your understanding. Every surface is covered in a sinewy tangle of conduits and wiring of varying thickness, behind which a reddish-brown cast faint light and long shadows. The air here is free from the sterile chemical smell of recycled oxygen. Instead, it is warm and moist like breath exhaled from a living body. Before you, where the idol once sat, you find a long-dead nav station. It's covered in narrow wires that run from the ground like overgrown weeds. Visible through the tangle of wires is a plate on which the ship's name is stenciled, the Lesser Key of Solomon. Branching from the central deck, you find 3 corridors leading to deeper cabins of specialized design. To your left, there is a laboratory. To your right, a crew quarters. Ahead of you, down the longest corridor, is the reactor room. So this is and my head is in the way, so I'm gonna hide myself for now. This is like a text adventure, and there is kind of like a right or wrong way to go about the text adventure. Spoiler again. There are 3 major paths in completing this quest with different rewards. And I am going to be pursuing sort of like the moderate path, but basically there is the cultist path where you worship the meat. There is the zealot path where you are fighting the meat, and then there's like a middle of the line path, and that's the path I intend to take. So we're going to examine the laboratory. Inside the lab, you find an array of rusting genetic and surgical equipment. The swollen conduits from the walls run to broken specimen tanks, now vacant operating tables. Every surface drips with warm, viscous fluid. The operating table in particular catches your eye. In fact, it appears to be several tables, all of them set aside by side and welded together at the center to create one overarched surface. The arrangement sits in the center of the room. It is surrounded by crude scaffolding reaching nearly to the ceiling. Platforms are set into the scaffolding, and dozens of hand lamps are clipped to it, all of them pointing down at the assembly. Terminal lines line the right side of the room. One flickers to light and then dies out again as the conduits begin to spark. Browse the terminals because I'm skilled in hacking. Rifling through the data files on the last remaining operational terminal, you discover a personal journal, trial results, and various experiments. Notation of one Professor Park Kwon Lee. Its name you recognize. Professor Lee is the notorious figure in the system, at once at constant presence in the tabloid media. Formerly a renowned academic at the Korean School for Biotechnology on Kapyong Station in the Martian system, Lee's doctorate was revoked when he published a manifesto on the beliefs of gene splicing among species. After losing his post, Professor Lee moved on to work on various high-level corporate roles, including the Chief Development Officer at Petware and Chief Research Specialist at Brave New Worlds. Examine the crew quarters. What you find here is, on first impression, a standard small crew quarter. 2 bunks, several storage lockers, a single sink, and toilet. Personal effects lay on the end tables, haphazard arrangements, eyeglasses, reading material, photographs of friends, and family pinned on the walls. 4 lab coats, long ago white, hang on the wall beside each bed. As your eye adjusts to the reddish darkness, however, the scene resolves into something far more strange. The mass of conduits on every surface run towards the bunks and up into the beds. There, they disappear into long form under aged brown sheets spotted with rust-colored stains. We are going to remove the sheets. You peel back the sodden sheets to find sleeping, malformed creature whose proportions are the only element you would reasonably describe as human. They are nude save for the snaking conduits that run from the nest beneath them into port-like sores on their chests, arms, and legs. Bristly fur covers their bodies in thick patches at the abdomen and upper thigh. Their jawbone is elongated and distends into a respirator of original design. 2 horns poke through the matted, filthy hair in the front of their skull. Chasing a sixth sense of curiosity, you draw back the sheet further, and beneath it you find more hair in which nest genitals beyond your recognition. 2 long, undulated legs bend down towards a pair of cloven hooves. Examine the lab. Oh, we did that. Examine the reactor room. The environment around you... shoot. It double-clicked. Grows hotter and more humid with every step you take down the long corridor into the deepest bowels of the ship. As the world behind you recedes from both memory and view, one ahead defies your understanding. Before long, you find that a reddish musculature has begun to grow on the snaking conduits beneath you. Viscous blood pools around your feet with every soft step. Deeper in, the meat gives way for portions of skin and, deeper still, patches of bristly hair. After what feels like more steps than a corridor demanded, you enter a darkened engineering chamber. Before you, on the far wall, where the reactor should be, you instead find a massive throne of viscera, muscle, conduit, and bone. sitting perfectly still upon the human-shaped creature of monstrous scale. Though it appears to be sleeping, you sense it is very alive. The creature is breathing in time with the ship, and all the conduits run to its throne like arteries to a beating heart. Mingled with its human form, the creature shows unmistakable features of a goat, descended snout, unguligrade legs, and cloven hooves, with two huge horns on its head that suggest a casual lethality. Its meaty muscles are obscene in their size and proportion. Bristling hair gathers at otherwise nude waist and upper thighs. The hair fails to conceal the creature's overly large phallus and upward curve, which no, I'm not reading that. Sitting beside the throne is a scepter of spine leading to the ornamental goat's skull. From it sprouts a pair of shattered horns forming many sharp points. So I think I screwed this up in that there was like a double click, and I might have to redo this, but at least I won't have to read it again. I'm going to proceed with caution. You take a few halting steps towards the center of the chamber, where the reddish glow has pooled before the throne like a spotlight. Before you reach the throne, the creature's eyes flick open and you find your own. Its eyes are wide, golden yellow, with a long black rectangular pupil that runs parallel to the ground. You stand in the spotlight and meet the creature's gaze for what seems like an eternity. As you do, terror builds in your mind like static, a wave of noise growing in volume, though which you can distantly discern a voice breaking through, like a transmission from far away. The voice merges and coalesces, breaking through the static long before it is clear to you, as if you were spoken. The words present to you in a warm, syrupy tenor, but are laced with the shiver of panicked animal being led to slaughter. Okay. We are going to, purge it. The voice asks you who you are and why you've come. The question resonates in your mind against a deep and primal fear that gives way to rage. How dare this monstrosity question your intention? You, an enlightened and evolved creature, being challenged by a altruistic freak of science or hell, even one lower than any terrestrial beast. And yet there remains a similarity between you and the monster. The congruity is more awful and terrifying than you've ever felt. I don't think I've ever done this path. I am going to challenge it. I'm going to challenge it. Staring at the fiend is a so this is the zealot path, by the way. Is its terrible eye and say that you've come to challenge it, to match your own human capacity against the grotesque power that should never have entered this world in the first place. It has minions. You hear a terrible bleating behind you, accompanied by the clatter of hooves beating on the ground. You turn just in time to see three nimble, snarling satyrs charging headlong into the room. Their eyes are bloodshot and crazed, and they close upon you with impossible speed. Just before they reach you, the piercing command of the Goat King rings out in your mind, so loud that you wince in pain and are forced to the ground. And when you open the eyes, the three smaller beasts are staring down at you, shocked still with expressionless expressions of hatred. So we can cut them down, ignore Satyr's attack King, or surrender big for release. We are going to... let's just attack the King. You stand and turn to face the Goat King. Sitting on the throne, he towers above you. And you have to tilt your head to meet his terrible gaze, imagining how you'll lunge at him through the satyrs. You tense. At the first sign of movement, the satyrs pounce. They were ready and ready for you for any signs of hostility. 3 beasts in prime physical condition pummel your body with hardened fists and hooves, covering your body with every limb you have free. You stand. You try to withstand the blows and look for any opportunity to counter. So we are unfortunately going to succumb to the satyrs and are stunned and die. Yeah. So that was the zealot path that doesn't always end like that. What I'm going to try to do is go through the other paths. Technically, I died, so that death counter should be 1, but it was only as a result of a misclick. Hello? There we go. So I saved right before, knowing that the quest line can end like that. And again, a little spoiler. So there's 3 paths, like I said. There is the cultist path, the moderate path, and the zealot path. And there's different personality traits to gain and lose through the text here. So for instance, when I challenged it, I gained the personality trait brave. If I attacked it directly, I would have removed a personality trait of patient, and so on and so forth. So there are a lot of results of the choices that you make here, which impart a permanent change to your character. So going through this, you might want to save and redo it, or look up guides to try to figure out sort of your favorite result for the changes to your character. But I'm going to go over time so that I don't leave you on a cliffhanger and actually resolve this event. Instead of, saying, oh, I'll just do it later. So, we're going longer. And hopefully I won't misclick and set it up wrong. Only 2 blood this time. Here. Megan, you can go to sleep. Okay. So here we are. We can approach with caution. Or charge in unprepared to strike it down. I want to approach with caution. Or actually... Oh, let's try the unprepared. Death comes, yeah. Immediate death. So, sometime, what I'll do is I'll build the altar and then I'll save again. I haven't done every option here, so that was the first time I went down the zealot line, where you try to fight it. So that was new to me. I've done both the Craven, or I've done both the cultist and the moderate one before, but never the zealot one, which was cool. And you affect what path you take based upon your NPC actions. So, like, you gain points towards the cultist result by, like, talking to the meat, and you gain points for moderate wishing for better food, and you gain points for zealot by, like, just destroying the walls of meat. So if I want the moderate result, I might need to long for better food by staring at the meat a bit longer. So I might grind through that a few times to try to trigger the moderate ending. And as far as rewards go, again, more spoilers. The moderate ending gives you a way to generate meat. The zealot ending gives you a weapon, and the cultist ending gives you a way to resist carbon dioxide, I guess. Oddly. Hypercania, or whatever. Alright, so now we can install... Oh, so much more blood this time. Boo. I'll clean it up later. Alright, Megan, you can go to sleep. And also the cultist way, you can like pray to the goat god to get meat. I guess moderate and cultists both give you meat. I wonder if I can long for better food at the refrigerator too. I don't know if this counts. Probably not. Let's try to get a resolution here. Alright, approach with caution. Yeah, I'm only getting the zealot path. So I guess we'll just go down to the zealot path. So I am going to... oh, you know what? I'm going to set up a trap. It has minions. So as a result of setting up a trap, I just gained the trait Genius. As you can see, Rhadamant is smarter than most. It has minions. I'm going to appeal to reason. And slay the abomination. Then, I'm going to improvise tool attack. Steeling yourself against the fear, you remember that you have a tool on your person that might serve well in this instance. As you retrieve it, the Goat King stands from his throne and picks up the spinal scepter beside him. The swing comes immediately and you almost don't have time to react. The Goat King's scepter smashes into the meaty ground, sending a huge splat of thickened blood up from where you were just moments ago. As the blood rebounds and the entire ship contracts around it, the Goat King himself staggers, clutching his own stomach. Seeing your opening, you strike out with your improvised weapon and deliver a wound to the Goat King's side just below its exposed ribs. The King swings out again, this time connecting with your legs, which disappear from out under you, and you fall to the ground. Another blow falls, and again you manage to escape it, this time rolling away as the scepter smashes down beside you. The huge blow cracks a bone deep within the hull of the ship. The Goat King cries out again and stumbles back, clutching its own leg. You stand and swing at the injured leg, a blow that sends the Goat King kneeling before you like a knight awaiting... I feel like that should be KNIGHD. Waiting the touch of the sword upon his shoulders. With the last ounce of strength, you bring the tool down upon its filthy head. The King's skull splits open and its body collapses. The ship continues to sputter and groan around you. Knowing your work is done here, you pry the spinal scepter from the King's grasp and return to the shimmering portal at the nav station in the center of the ship. You step through it and return to the world you left behind. In your hands, you find the scepter, the only evidence that you'll ever have of this horrible encounter. I am the goat! Ha 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 ha! So that is the cultist victory. I have the spinal scepter, which is a remarkable weapon formed from the skull and spine of the massive goat-human hybrid, barbaric to some, effective nonetheless. It allows both piercing and slashing through most protective wear. Do pirates want to mess with me now? I think not. I got a pirate-slaying weapon. And let's... I'm already over time, so let's go ahead and wrap up this quest line and head back to K-Leg. Being a little over time is fine. But there you have it. That was the meat quest. And one of the benefits of completing the meat quest is once you're done with it, you get no more meat, for better or for worse. Unless, of course, you like summon it or whatever. So whatever ships that did exist that had meat will still have meat, but it will stop generating new ships with meat. So if you are, in your run, getting absolutely overwhelmed by meat, you can complete the meat quest and you will stop getting new ships with meat. So there's a lot of players that, like, it's kind of hard to figure out how to do the meat quest, to be fair. But you essentially have the tools to avoid having the meat spread indefinitely by completing the meat quest and rendering it inert. So if I just explained your situation, do the meat quest like I did, you might get different endings, but once it's done, it's done. And you won't have to face more meat thereafter. So now I'm bringing home my haul of meat back to Kalag. And yeah, that was lucky intuition of like, hey, the hauler just brought in this fresh ship. Maybe it's from Mars. Just complete chance that I saw the hauler there. That was nice. And I have this lovely weapon to murder pirates now, which I'm all about. The enemy, the meat almost got through Megan's suit. She would have been okay. She would have exposed a vacuum briefly as I like raced her back to the ship to put on a new suit. Because you can survive vacuum for actually a pretty long time, to be honest, in game. Can I find more parts to make another altar? No, the questline's done. Once it's done, it's done. You can't get multiple rewards. You only get one reward. But good question. Shut up. Stupid thing. Might be too far out to dock. Yep. Well, I lived up to my ship's name, only kneeling before Yoda. I did not kneel before the Goat King. I was like, I'm gonna rush you. I'm gonna create an improvised weapon and murder you. And I will also show the benefit of becoming a genius, too. Because that would be a permanent change to my personality traits. So, in this case, if I right-click on myself and show more, I am a genius. Is significantly smarter than most. I'm also forgiving. Is more likely to forgive than most. Both of those personality traits were inherited from that quest chain. Now, the only disadvantage to what I did is I won't be able to farm meat in order to make money. And as you can see, I just made... It was probably more effort than $34,000, but, like, you can farm meat for money, obviously. It's not a bad way to farm money. Because you won't have to travel... It saves you RCS fuel, because you can just sit there on one ship, just bashing the meat over and over. And, yeah. that was fun. So friends, I think, having concluded the meat questline, that is where I'm going to leave off for today. Thank you for tuning in to Ostranauts, which originally streamed live on Twitch, February 4th. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you would like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you would like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching, and a special thank you to my Twitch subscribers, Patreon patrons, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow Ostranauts.